Hello, so we're in the top of the 8th inning. It's a 7-game series for the 2020 New York Mets against the 2020 San Diego Padres. We're playing in San Diego. The starting pitcher, Zach Davies, for the San Diego Padres, pitched 7 no-hit innings. And going into the top of the 8th inning, the Padres were ahead 5-0. They had home runs, 2 home runs from Will Myers, accounted for 3 of those 5 runs. But then things kind of fell apart. The New York Mets got the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hitters got on base for the New York. The first 7 hitters got on base for the New York Mets, and the Mets actually have scored 6 runs. So now we only have 1 out. Whereas at first and third, and the New York Mets are up. And let's see the pitcher for the Mets. So we replaced. So the pitcher for the Mets is Matt Strom. And here's the windup and the pitch. 3-3. Matt Strom is a lefty, and it's going to be a fly out to right field. So I'm not using, that's 2 outs. So I'm not using the ballpark ratings, the clutch ratings, or the weather ratings. So that's going to be 2 outs now. Runners at first and third. The Mets have a 6-5 lead. Brandon Nemo's coming in. 2-3 is going to be against the lefty. It's going to be ground out to first base. So that ends the inning. G3. So we're going to go to the bottom. We're going to go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Padres are going to try and get 1 run and tie this game up, or more than 1, and take a lead. So coming in for the Mets is going to be Juris Familiar, and he's going to be pitching to Jurickson Profar. So it's 1-5 against the righty, and that's going to be 4-3, 1 out. So we got Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to be up. And here's the windup and the pitch. And it's 59. Could it be a double? It is a double. So Fernando Tatis Jr. gets a double. That's the second hit of the game. He'll be on second base, 1 out. We'll have Manny Machado and Will Myers is going to be up. So you can't walk Machado here because Myers is going to be up next. The Myers already has 2 home runs. So, all right, you have 4-7 against the righty, and that's going to be strike 3. So now that's going to be 2 outs, and now they're going to walk Will Myers. So they're going to walk attention Will Myers, the guy who hit 2 home runs. They're going to put him at first base, and that brings up Eric Hosmer. 1-8 against the righty, and that is going to be a ground out, 6-3. So we're going to go to the 9th inning now with the New York Mets having a 1-run lead. And coming in for the pitch for San Diego will be Drew Pomeranz. Will be coming in for the Mets. So for the Padres. Drew Pomeranz is going to be coming in the 9th. And Pomeranz is going to face Davis, Ramos, and Juris Familiar. So here's Davis. So Pomeranz is going to be pitching to Davis. And here's the pitch. 5-3 against the righty. That will be on the pitcher. It's a pitcher's X play. The pitcher's X play chair here. Here we are. Okay. So Pomeranz is a 4-0, so he doesn't give up any errors, but he is a 4. Let's check it out. 16, he's a 4. 16, so that'll be an out. And he'll go out 1, and J.D. Davis will go out 1 to 3. So next up will be Wilson Ramos. Yep. And here's the lineup and the pitch. 2-7. And that will be a strikeout for Pomerantz. That's 2 outs. And we will have a pinch hitter for the pitching position. Pomerantz will stay in. And the pinch hitter for the Mets will be, and Pomerantz is a lefty, so Chirinos has an awesome home run carry against lefties, so they're going to bring him in. So pinch hitting for Familia. In ninth will be Robinson Chirinos. So like I said, Robinson Chirinos has a dominating home run carry against lefties. And they're going to walk him. They're going to give the attentional base on balls. And that's going to bring Andres Jimenez, the top of the order, up. So Chirinos is on first base. He's not a threat to steal. Now let's see if we want to bring in a pinch runner for the Mets. So do we have any speedsters on the Mets bench? I don't see much of speed on the Mets bench right here. So, all right, so we're gonna go with that. So Andre Jimenez with 2 outs, 6-3. We have a lefty, so that's going to be a fly ball X play into left field. Here's the X chart. So left fielder is Profar, he's a 3E5. So 20, that will be a fly out, and he will be an E5, 3, and that will be F7. So that'll be the 3rd out. So now we're going to see the Mets closer. Who is the Mets closer? I really don't know these teams that well, but I am learning. So coming in for the New York Mets will be let me see. I thought I saw a really good closer for the Mets. Missed it. So Pomerantz is out. So we're going to have Cronenworth, Nola, and the pitching position due for the Mets. I mean, Justin Wilson doesn't have a closing rating. Just looking for somebody who has a closing rating for the Mets. And starter. So we got that. So right now we have Drew Familia. Is he an actual closer? No, he's not a closer. See, I know I have plenty of Mets fans out there, and right now they're saying to themselves, well, we know who our closer is, it's such and such. And that's awesome. Unfortunately, Edwin Diaz. I guess Edwin Diaz was the closer for the Mets. There we go. Alrighty. Edwin Diaz. So the closer comes in for the Mets, Edwin Diaz. I'm learning. It's part of the reason why I play 7-game series. It's so that I can learn the pitchers. All right, so Diaz will pitch to Cronenworth. 3-7. And will that be a single? No, it'll be a line out to second base. Next up will be the catcher, Austin Nola. I'm going to have him hit. He does have a little bit of power. And he can 6-7. The righty, 6-7, strike 3. So last up for the Padres, if the Dodgers can get him, if the Mets can get him out, will be a pinch hitter. And pitching for the Mets will be... The Mets really don't have a bench. The Mets have a very weak bench. I mean, not the Mets, but the Padres have a very weak bench. I guess Tommy Pham, maybe? Which isn't much of a pinch hitter, but... So Tommy Pham is going to come in for pinch hit for Pomeranz. All right, so Tommy Pham is going to pinch hit for the pitcher. And there's 2 outs. And the New York Mets are 1 out away from taking a lead in the series. There's the pitch. Tommy Pham's trying to keep hope alive. And 6, he will single. So Tommy Pham gets on base. And he has a tiny bit of speed, so we're gonna do the roll. 7. All right, so he doesn't get the jump. Now he'll be a 13. And the catcher is a +1, so he'll be a 16. First question is, are they going to hold him? Yes. And he is going to try to go to second base. Now, he's stealing up to 16. Oh, boy. 3. So, he does steal second base. I want to check for the possibility of balks, wild pitches, or pass balls. So 1, it's passed up. 2, it's possible balk. Possible throwing error. So now we have to see if the catcher committed a throwing error. So 1 through 3, and it's a throwing error, and he doesn't do it. So Pham, the tying run is now on second base. And we have Trent Grisham is going to come in and hit, who's the regular player in that position. And here's the windup and the pitch. And it's 1-7 against the righty. Triple! Trent Grisham hits a triple to tie the game up. And now he'll be at third base. So Trent Grisham hits a triple. He'll bring home Tommy Pham. We now have a game that's tied at 6. Jurickson Profar is up. And the game-winning run will be at third base. We could go into extra innings if Diaz gets Profar out. And here's the pitch. 6-7. Strike 3. We are into extra innings. Holy cow. So we're going into extra innings here. Oh, all right. So we need a pinch hitter. I mean, we need a closer. We need a pitcher for San Diego. So coming into pitch for San Diego, and they do not have, neither of these teams have much of a bench, will be Emilio Pagan coming into pitch in place of Drew Pomeranz. So Emilio Pagan will come in to pitch for Drew Pomerantz. So Stammen can't pitch. So let me just organize things. Oh, so there's a Stammen and there was a Strom. Hey, I'm working on it. So Strom they're both Mets. So Strom was the one that was pitching. Tommy Pham goes out. And there's the starters for the Padres are right there. Menace made the last out, so Jeffrey McNeil's going to be up. Pagan will come in. Pomerantz can't pitch anymore. Dominic Smith already hit for the Mets. DeGrom is out, and Shreve is out for the Mets. Robinson Chernos played for the Mets, so he can't come in. So right here we have San Diego's pitching, and we have their relievers, and they have four relievers. 1, 2, 3, 4 relievers. And here's the Mets I have in this pile, and the Mets. Those are the Mets starters, so you're not going to bring them in. And Juris Familiar cannot play for the Mets, so we're not going to bring him in. So there are your pitchers for the Mets. The relief pitchers for the Mets are right there. And there's San Diego's batters right there. All right, so we're a little bit more organized here. So Pagan is going to come in. I'm going to take a quick look at the San Diego Padres relievers. See if I can find a halfway decent one. They have Hill and they have Pagan. So Hill is going to be warming up, and Pagan will be pitching. They do not have a very deep bullpen. So the Mets are going to be up. It's going to be Jeff McNeil. Pagan will be pitching to Jeff McNeil. For 10th inning. All right, here we go. Pagan's pitching to McNeil. 4-4, and that will be a grounder to Tatis Jr. at the shortstop position. So that'll be an X play at the shortstop position. Go. All right, so Tatis Jr. is a 1-8. 1-11, that's going to be an out. He's an 8 error at shortstop. And I rolled a 13, so he will make the play. 6-3 for the out. That'll be 1 out. Next up will be Robinson Cano. And here's the windup and the pitch. 1-11 against a righty. That will be a single for Cano. And he is no threat to steal. Run on first. Conforto is up. 1 out. 1-4 against a righty. And that will be a strikeout. Strike 3. And next up will be Pete Alonso. Yep. The windup and the pitch. 4-4. Righty. So we're going to have another X play for the shortstop. And we get 13, and the roll is 11. He's error 8. So again, Tatis Jr. makes the play, 6-3 for the out. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 10th inning here. And the score is 6-6 in the first game of a 7-game series. Diaz will come in, and Tatis Jr. will be up. Diaz came in last inning. 2 hits. So Diaz is eligible to be tired. 6-8 against the righty, strike 3. He gets Tatis Jr. out. And there's now action in the Mets bullpen. So up for the Mets. So the Mets have Castro, Wilson, Brach, and Hughes. Castro, Wilson, Brach, and Hughes. None of these guys have a great ERA. So Justin Wilson will be warming up. And here's the windup to Manny Machado. 1-4 is a home run! Walk-off home run for Manny Machado. The game is over. Manny Machado with a walk-off home run in the 10th inning. And the San Diego Padres beat the New York Mets 7-6 in extra innings. What a game this was. What a game this was. The San Diego Padres take a 1-0 lead in this series. We had a no-hitter pitched by Zach Davies through 7 innings. Padres were ahead at that time, primarily by 2 home runs by Will Myers. They were ahead 5-0. But the Mets get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But then in the 8th inning, the first 7 hitters for the Mets get on base. They score 6 runs. They take a 6-5 lead. And then at the bottom of the 9th inning, a pinch hitter, Robinson Chirinos, Tommy Pham comes in, singled, stealed second, and then Trent Grisham hit a triple. At that point, it was 6-6. We were going into extra innings. And then at the bottom of the 10th, the Mets didn't get any runs in the top of the 10th. And then the bottom of the 10th inning, Manny Machado hit a walk-off home run. And that gives the San Diego Padres a 1-0 lead.